Hello again, welcome back inside the Tier 4 studio here in Morgantown, West Virginia. For the Charleston Gazette Mail, I am Mike Casaza. You are here for part 8 of our 2015 and 15 countdown. Good news for me, great news for you. Why do I say that? What is half of 15? 7.5. 8 is greater than 7.5, so we are officially past the top of the hill and on the way down, accelerating toward the start of the 2015 season here at West Virginia University. Today, let's discuss newcomers, and for the purpose of this conversation, we'll put them into two categories. Players who are new but have actually been around and have not yet opened your eyes, and players who are new and have just arrived recently, whether the spring or even the summer or even in the next couple of weeks, and hope to make their mark. I like to disqualify a number of people when I make a list like this: offensive linemen, defensive linemen who are true freshmen or even junior college transfers. It's just hard to get caught up or even ahead to some of the physical demands, mental demands that other players who are older and have more experience have. I'm also inclined to disqualify players who are in the recruiting class and not yet on campus for similar reasons. So that would knock out a couple of people who are not yet here, and that would include Rasul Douglas. However, Rasul Douglas has intimated he's good to go and he'll be here at the end of the week, which is great news because he can help. A junior college All-American from a very good conference. He was one of West Virginia's top overall targets in the recruiting class for a year. If the reputation is real, he can make this transition quickly, smoothly, ably. Does he beat out Terrell Chestnut and Darrell Worley? No, I don't think that was ever really the expectation. But could he be a nickel or a dime back? Could he even be a backup cornerback? Absolutely. His potential, his talent is such, I don't think that's too much to ask. Another player who you might consider as an impactful player from the junior college ranks, Larry Jefferson, who was here in the spring. Being around helps, especially in the first year with a new defensive line coach. Bruce Tall is that new defensive line coach. Tony Gibson brought him because he trusts Bruce Tall's vision. What has West Virginia really liked in past iterations of this 3-3-5 defense? It's those quick rush ends who can get around the tackles and create havoc in the the offensive backfield. That would seem to be what this defensive end can do. He's 6'5", 225. He can beat the tackles. He can be a speed rusher. He's different from Noble Nwachukwu and Eric Kinsey and whomever else might be a bigger, older, thicker player at that defensive end spot, but he's a complementary piece. He is not going to be an every down player, but neither was Bruce Irvin early on. Would you take Bruce Irvin? Absolutely. Would you take Larry Jefferson? I think so. How about receivers? There's great potential and there's a great opportunity for this group of players right now. Junior college transfer Karan White, high school graduates on campus already, Javon Durant and Gary Jennings. I think collectively they will form one pretty nice season. So let's call them K. Gary Durant, whatever you want to, some combination of those three. I think you could see them put together nice numbers that you would expect from perhaps a star receiver. That does not mean one of them is going to overtake anybody and be the champion of the position. I'm not sure any one of those people will be asked. White is going to play. He redshirted at Lackawanna College. He has 3 years to play 3 seasons. Gary Jennings, the physical maturity is impressive, but people say that mentally he is ready to go too. The combination there could help him overcome many of the hurdles a freshman player would encounter. And Javon Durant is just an exciting player. Twitchy, fast, great high school productivity when he was playing, could even help on special teams. Let's go to the other classification. Players who have been around, whether here or somewhere else, and then are ready to go now and kind of arch your brow a little bit. Let's start with Kyle Bosch. New to West Virginia, not new to college football. We've discussed him already. Could be a player who jumps in and starts at left guard or plays a lot at an inside position. At the worst, he is a 6 offensive lineman, which would give West Virginia 3 or 4 extra guys up front that really Ron Crook or even Bill Bedenbaugh before him. That's a luxury neither one of those gentlemen has had. Another offensive player, running the ball. I think it's obvious that most people would say Dante Thomas-Williams. I'm going to disagree with you just a little bit, and I'm going to go with Jackie Marcellus, a redshirt sophomore. He's actually taken 2 redshirts, 1 medical, 1 development, but for as long as he's been around, coaches have been very optimistic about what he can do. He played running back in the spring, did pretty well. That might have been necessity, that might have been an experiment. He's listed as a slot receiver now, but it's not unusual to see West Virginia use 1 player in both spots. I think that he could have a nice season, especially because they need inside receivers. Safety, Dawan Funderburk, a guy that might have gotten in the field last year in a different situation. Good luck keeping him off the field this year. He will play on special teams. He'll be noticeable there because he runs and hits pretty hard, but he's also overtaken Deron Wilson at the safety position there. Another player who's just been kind of around and waiting has already shown off a little bit, left tackle Yadni Kajust. We've discussed him as well. Hard for a true freshman to make his mark. He did not last year. But at the end of his true freshman year in school, that was spring football, and he was the #1 guy there until a broken finger sidelined him for a little bit. He'll start camp as the #1 at left tackle, and the coaches seem to like his potential there. And finally, let's go a little bit outside the box here and talk about a special teams player. Let's watch Billy Kinney. Billy the kicker from University High is a big kid, 6'4", over 200 pounds, has a strong leg. West Virginia needs a kickoff guy. He's also the backup holder and the punter too. I don't think West Virginia would hesitate to put him in either one of the latter two spots if Nick O'Toole struggles in one or the other, but he also will be the kickoff guy, which is an important role for West Virginia. Time will tell what mark these kids make, but at least we have a list to use as we go forward. For the Charleston Daily Mail, I'm Mike Kazaza. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.